India's first media center, EFA Media, and my name is Nirali Munjal. Ma'am, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Namgay Choden, and I work as a consultant. I work in the climate space. I'm from Bhutan.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, as in your session, you were telling about the climate changes. Then you have some challenges that you have faced by learning this and by by introduce of this. Then what was that?
Okay, so I'm very much interested in bringing young people into policy conversations, especially on climate change. I started my career in the government actually. I used to work in the foreign ministry and I used to look after the climate policy desk, where a lot of very important intergovernmental documents on climate action, such as things around the UNFCCC and the other conventions as well, were passing through my desk. And when I would go and talk about it very excitedly to my friends, there was a big challenge because they didn't know what I was talking about.
Yes, of course.
And they didn't think it was important. So I got really curious about that, and I thought, what can I do to help them understand and make sure that they know that this is something that should matter to them, because ultimately policy is going to come and impact you in your own personal lives. So this is basically what I've been trying to do. I've been going around the country, me and a group of my friends, to talk about the Paris Agreement, to talk about the various policies that exist in the country, where there are opportunities for young people to take action, where they can locate funding, how they can talk to officials and their politicians on a certain climate issue in their community.
As ma'am, you told us that you have gone through various forms in India also to know about the climate change problem. So what solutions you have known until?
So I cannot help but emphasize on policy making because this is my background, right? But I also know that it's very difficult, and especially when we talk about young people, a lot of young people feel intimidated, and then they feel that, if I go talk to an elected official, they will not take me seriously. And even when I talk about policy, I sometimes feel that this is from a place of privilege because I've worked in the offices and I feel comfortable, but a young person coming from a village might not necessarily be comfortable. So to that, I'm now increasingly starting to believe in community action, in grassroots action. How can I and how can others come in and actually empower people on the ground who are being impacted daily to take action? And of course, at some point, they do have to encounter policymakers or the government or whatever, but at the same time there is so much power in coming together as a community and then doing something locally. So I'm also looking to see how we can go more into these communities, support them, and also bring them the necessary resources that they need.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, according to this, then what are your opinions that you can convey to students of India?
Well, to the students of India, as I said in my panel, I'm very hopeful. India and our region generally, and Southeast Asia, we have a huge youth population, and I would say, you shouldn't have to wait to grow up to take action and to do something for climate, for your own communities. You're not leaders of tomorrow, you're already leaders today. And most importantly, think about a career in climate. And it's not only you becoming a scientist or a teacher. There are so many ways in which you can work for climate. You can be a storyteller. You can be a person who helps different sectors in society come together and have a dialogue. You can, just like me, you can work in policy. You can work in politics. You can actually run for office. You can become a member of parliament who really, really cares about climate and what needs to be done. So to the youth of India, I'm very, very optimistic that all of you will be able to do great things. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time.